Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 1225 Hillendale Road, southeast here in Salem. We're located in the basement. We're at, I'm trying to think here. If you're looking at the face of the home from the street, we're at the far right side in the kind of the back bedroom down in the basement here. And this line's going to go through this wall and travel all the way across from the right side of the house all the way to the left side is what it looks like based on the cleanouts in here. A 4-inch cast iron pipe here. I'm going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We do have water currently running. Here we go. And I'm assuming there's going to be a bunch of turns up through here, so I'm going to keep the camera moving pretty quickly. Okay, it's transitioning here from 4-inch cast iron pipe over to, it looks like also 4-inch concrete. That's at least the way it appears here anyway. It does look like we have some roots coming through here at this joint. Well, unfortunately, we've got some back-to-back turns here that they're just jogging the camera back and forth, and it's got the camera pinched up here. It's just not, it does not look like we're going to be able to budge around this corner here. It's just coming to a stop. So I'm going to locate the camera head and see where we're at. We'll let it drain out too, and we'll keep our eye out for secondary points of access, hopefully one on the outside that we can use. I attempted to locate the camera head. I'm having a really hard time getting an accurate signal. I am picking something up in the backyard, but it's not accurate enough for me to be able to confirm that that is in fact where the line is at. So I'll try and relocate it here in just a minute. Looks like we may have some roots coming through this joint here as well, right here at about 57 feet out. You can see some of the strands coming through the top of the pipe up there. And that joint's separated by about a half inch or more. We do have a little bit of standing water here in the line as well. It looks like the pipe settled there, and about 1 inch of standing water there. I don't know if they originally set the pipe to be kind of this S shape here as it kind of snakes back and forth, or if the pipe just settled that way and became cattywampus due to just nature moving it around. And then we have another set of, looks like we had roots right there. It just does so many turns here, it's hard to keep track of it all. Looks like we've got roots coming out from underneath. You can see there underneath that toilet paper here at 53 feet, and a big, pretty large hole there. That joint's pulled apart significantly. Now this concrete section, well, it still appears to be functioning as in very rough condition. There's root intrusions at almost every single joint out to from 52 feet to 58 feet. That first 6-7 feet of the concrete there is pretty shot. So anyway, we've got root intrusions in all. There was about 5 or 6 joints there. Most of them are separated by at least 1/2 inch. So the one just ahead of the camera there is like 1.5 inches or more. It's wide open. We do have standing water associated with it. It looks like it just settled really bad and awkwardly and just started juxtaposing the pieces of pipe. I think that's what that S turn. Anyway, the configuration there is not allowing the camera past. There is a clean out in the middle of the basement, which would be closer. It would, it'd be less camera to get out to this point from there. The problem is it's situated between two workbenches. It's extremely awkward. It's unlikely I'd be able to even get a wrench on it to open the cap up. If you got it off of there, it's still a very awkward spot to try and shove a camera from, and you're going to end up going right back through these turns here as well. So most likely you're going to get hung up going through even that clean out, even with probably about even 20 feet or so less pipe to go through there. I'm going to go try and locate the camera head here at the transition. Again, we have root intrusion right here, right off the bat at the transition to, this looks like 6-inch concrete pipe. Okay, I located a signal out back. It looks like it's running underneath the concrete patio back there where there's the painted checkerboard down on the ground. It's right underneath that checkerboard currently. I'm going to do another locate here just to double check. Alright, so it's definitely going out the back underneath the concrete patio back there with the checkerboard on it, or chessboard. I'm going to try and push back out here as far as I can go again and try and relocate. We were able to find a metal plate back there that has a secondary clean out underneath it. Now that I know where that's at, I might be able to actually locate the camera head further out here. Alright, so I've located here, there's two circular spots out there in the backyard that both look like they could conceal cleanouts. One is further out, probably about 10-12 feet from the house, under a metal plate, and then there's a circle about 5 feet or so from the house. They're both circular in shape, but the one that's sitting right directly over top the camera right now is a concrete. It's about a 6-inch concrete circle there. I don't know if that's a cleanout tie in, but that's directly where the camera is at right now. The line comes out and then does a couple hard back-to-back turns there. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about. I have the beginning where the transition is at from cast iron to concrete marked with a blue painter's tape X. Yeah, it goes out, does a hard right turn, and then immediately turns back to the left. And if you kind of look at the markings and where those cleanouts are at, it will make more sense out there. But I'm picking the depth up there around 2 feet 6 inches deep, and then right here about 2 feet 2 inches deep. And again, right here is marked with a blue painter's tape X. And I would recommend repairing from this point right here at 52 feet on out as far as we were able to get at the very least right now. We did find another clean out outside, so we should be able to get even further. And seeing where the line is headed to right now, it's going even deeper into the trees and stuff. There's a good chance that all that line going through that area is probably going to need some kind of repair work if there's roots in it already. And we're coming back under the basement floor right now. All the pipe under the basement floor, all original cast iron, but it still all looks in good condition. That joint there is a little bit offset. And what I can't tell here is if that is a piece of pipe sitting, what that actually looks like to me is you've got a broken piece of pipe sitting in the middle of the sewer line here. I don't know what it's from, if they cut pipe at some point and that kind of fell down the line. That doesn't look like the actual line itself here is broken away. You can kind of see underneath it a little bit, and I think it looks like a piece of pipe resting inside the line here. It's really hard to tell. But I've seen this before. If a repair is done, sometimes a cast iron pipe will kind of shard or break off, and you'll get pieces of pipe that will go down the line. So for that reason, unfortunately, until a cleaning process is performed, you're never going to be able to know what that is. I would recommend a Hydrojet to clean that out. It's here at 12 feet from the first clean out. I would recommend doing a hydrojet and then a rescope to see if that has moved at all, or if it dislodges it and shows you what's underneath. It could be a piece of pipe that's broken away right there. There could be a hole underneath it, or what it looks like to me there is you've got a broken piece of pipe that made it down the line and is just stuck there. But it's a really easy thing for debris to hang up on coming down the line. So I'd recommend jetting that out. So that's kind of an unknown. Without knowing if there's a hole underneath that or not, I can't say until it's jetted and rescoped. But apart from that, all the cast iron pipe is in good condition and functioning at this time. The concrete's in rough condition, needs to be replaced thus far out to about 6 feet into it. We're going to move to another clean out here outside the house. And where we stopped is a few feet, is probably about 4 or 5 feet from the clean out we're going to. So there's 4 or 5 feet of pipe there we're not going to be able to see, but you can safely guess that it's going to have roots throughout it, as all the pipe has so far. All the concrete anyway. Alright, we've moved outside. I'll kind of show where we're at here. So here's our clean out under that plate there. Back behind us is the utility room. You can see there's the checkerboard on the ground with my tool bag. So the line comes out. You can see the hose bib on the wall back there, about a foot or so to the right of that. Comes out, and then it comes out to around the edge of the checkerboard, turns, comes over there where that white marking is, and then starts coming up this way. So anyway, we're dropping down into a clean out here in the ground. Clean some cobwebs off here for a second. Anyway, that's why where we stopped at was just past this white marking here on the ground. So from about there to this point here, it's actually more like 6 to 8 feet we did not see. You can safely assume, though, once again, that we do have probably root intrusion through there. We have some kind of tie-in there. I'm not sure what that is, if that's rain drain coming in. I zeroed out right at the bottom of that this current clean out here. We got more roots coming through there at 10 feet out. More roots here at 13 feet. 16 feet. And the concrete pipe, you're starting to see a lot of aggregate rock show through. It's pretty worn down. We've got roots punching through most of these joints out here. A lot of them aren't currently affecting the flow, but generally as you give roots time to grow, they'll continue to bust the line apart. And then the roots can end up blocking up the sewer line. More roots here at 29 feet. Got roots punching through the line here. These roots look like they've actually punched straight through the sidewall. They're not even coming through a joint there. And then out here, it transitions over to PVC pipe here at 55 feet out. And then we have another tie-in here. So this, when I see a tie-in that far out, that's what makes me think that this is probably some kind of shared sewer line with the neighbor. This line looks like it's heading straight through the rear fence line and just keeps on going. So anyway, because there's a tie-in there, that's likely where the sole responsibility of this homeowner stops. I would definitely look into how. There's another tie-in, so we're going to stop there and reel back. I would look into where responsibility starts and stops with this line. Okay, I'm just about to reel the camera out of the line. Currently, the line is functioning. The root intrusions and the separated joints, none of which are at a point right now are causing a fatal issue. They're not, like, the line's not just backing up in this current state it's in. We do have root intrusion and damage throughout the entire sewer line out to that first tie-in there, which is about 90 feet of pipe in total. I would, or from the first clean out inside. I would recommend updating all the concrete pipe the homeowner is responsible for, as it all has root intrusions throughout it. It's aggregate rock showing through. It's in rough condition, and with some very large separated joints. Just contact the city and find out where responsibility starts and stops on a line like this, because it looks like it's connected to a whole bunch of houses back here behind the home. I'm going to go ahead and reel out. I recommend a rescope after any repair work to ensure it was done properly. And then the piece of pipe that's inside, again, you need to jet the line and rescope to see what that is.